Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be the first of what I'm going to refer to as hype episodes. Hype episodes are not your typical review episodes. I reserve these for my absolute favorite of shows and movies. On today's episode, we're focusing on Netflix and their show, Ozark. Let's talk for a minute. When the show opens, we're introduced to the main family that we follow in this show, the Byrde family. They live in Chicago. You have Marty Byrde and Wendy Byrde, husband and wife. And right away with this show, we're thrown into the fact that this is not a very happy family. You have a husband and wife who don't talk very much. You have a family around the dinner table that they're all on their smartphones or on their iPads. They're not happy. We shift our focus back to Marty, and a situation at work becomes very intense. And now the Byrde family, they have to pretty much think very quickly. They have to make a big decision, and they need to relocate. The reason why they have to relocate is because the people that Marty was in business with, well, they're not too happy. And this is not the sort of crowd that you want to have not happy with you. Marty, no questions asks, goes to his family, informs them of what they have to do, and they relocate. Now, this whole story is about how once they have relocated and they have a task to do, they cannot let anyone know what they're doing. They have to think quick on their feet. There are many different elements, whether it's on the legal side or not legal side, that's providing pressure all around them. They still are not communicating well and coping well together as a family, which is causing problems of its own. Then there's a whole world and a cast of characters in their new location that they have to deal with. It's a thrilling show. There's twists and turns. You don't see what's coming around the corner, which is so great. But now I want to get into the minutia of why I really love this show and kind of some of the general trivia, I guess you can say, for this show. Casting Jason Bateman and Laura Linney as Marty and Wendy Byrde is perfect casting. One of the things that I absolutely love about this show is their acting. There is so much tension and so much drama just with the things they say, just with the things they do with the facial expressions. I mean, these two, first of all, they have a wealth of experience. So many great movies and shows that each of them have been a part of. Absolutely the best casting. What's also great too is that Jason Bateman is a producer on the show, as well as he's directed quite a few episodes. And Laura Linney, I was so happy to read that Laura Linney is going to be directing at least one episode. She will be directing episode 11 of season 4. But what's also really wonderful about this show is the supporting cast. There are 3 people in particular that I want to give a special shout out to from that supporting cast. First, Julia Garner as Ruth Langmore. This character is such a badass and she's really intense and there's just such a full range with this character. She is unforgettable. Then there is Felix Solis who plays Omar Navarro. This dude is ice cold and is absolutely great as an antagonist. Then there's the actor Tom Pelfrey who plays the character Ben Davis. Ben is the brother to Wendy, who is one of the leads of the show. The character of Ben has some major problems, and he's trying to deal with them. He's trying to cope with them. But what he brings to the show is super intense. It's so intense that I don't know if the other actors were ready for it when they saw the performance. When I saw it, it was unnerving. There is a monologue that opens one of the episodes for almost about 5 minutes where he's in the back of a cab just doing this rant to the taxi driver. It is one of the most bizarre openings to a show I think I've ever seen, in the sense of just someone showing that they are capable of portraying a character that is clearly going through a lot. The writing is fantastic. The directing is fantastic. Another important detail about this show is that it was written, produced, and created by Bill Dubuque. Bill Dubuque also wrote the screenplay for The Accountant. If you watch the movie The Accountant, and in the really creative way in which that story unfolds, you get an idea of the storytelling that's used in Ozark. Also, you get an idea of where the really gritty and kind of dark atmosphere of Ozark comes from. If there's anything that I should caution you about with this show, it's this. This is the closest I'm going to get to a con section for this show. I make a lot of recommendations of saying, oh, you should see this movie, you should see this show, and I just kind of blindly go into that with people. For a show like this, let's pause for a second, and let's ask ourselves, what kind of a day have we had? How's our energy level? How's our mood? How are we doing? If you're not ready for a show like this, that's okay. It's on Netflix. It'll be there ready for you whenever you're ready. But this is an intense show. It can be dark at times. I would say that after watching 1, at most 2 episodes at a time, I have to stop. I need a comedy chaser. I need a comedy show, a comedy movie. Now I've told you, don't say I didn't warn you. It is a fantastic show, amazing actors. You have no idea where it's going, and that is what I absolutely love about this show. Guaranteed to be a classic. Enjoy. Thank you for listening.